Hi guys, and welcome again to part 2. Thank you so much for watching and bearing with me. I don't like to go too long in my videos because I just think I can start going on. So I'm just doing part 2 of some of the reasons men struggle to commit, or why you might find yourself in a situation where the man you're with is reluctant to commit. So in part 1, I spoke about your contract, and we spoke about getting a guy to sign your contract before you release any goods. And I gave the comparison of Louis Vuitton and any corporation. They don't just give anything away for free. They want something in return. And because they're giving you valuable products or valuable things, so they want something, and they don't let you just walk away with the good stuff and then ask you to pay for it later unless you've signed something. Even if you're driving a Merc on a credit agreement, you have to sign something. You have to read the agreement. We will take our car back if you don't pay for it. We will do this and the other. We will charge you this amount. You know, no one gives you the good stuff for free. And we're talking about the fact that we let the good stuff go for free, then begin to make the demand, and it doesn't work that way. It's not fair on him, and it's certainly not fair for you. And you know what, girls, high value girls, they play fair. Okay, you've got to play fair. You can't just let somebody go off scot-free and then show up one day vexed and you want yours. So this is what I'm going to be talking to you guys about. So we spoke about that in part 1. And on part 2, I want to talk about some of the other things that might be causing your man to be reluctant to move the relationship to the next level. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, because I'd love you to join my world, because Chengi's World is on and popping. It is. And I have so much planned for you guys. I'm so excited about Chengi's World and how we're growing. So make sure that we share. If you love this video, make sure you share with your friends, right? And if you like it, make sure you like, thumbs up, or whatever it is you're doing. And I'll see you guys in just a bit. So I'm at the hospital, and I don't know if I've said this to you guys, but ever since I was about 9, ever since I was a conscious being, I have always had people tell me about their relationship issues. I remember being at primary school and an older woman telling me about her husband and what her husband did, and I realized that there's a grace upon my life for people's hearts to be open around me. People just feel comfortable to share their stories with me, and I'm so happy to listen to them. I'm so happy to hear them, and I have a heart to receive people's pain and people's stories. I love it. And I've also got the grace and the wisdom to be able to say something and do something that helps. And so it was no surprise, and a very ordinary day for me when I was in hospital and I was waiting for my son had an accident at school, and I was waiting to see the doctor. So I meet this beautiful young lady, and me being me, I smile at everyone and I'm really friendly. And she had a little baby, about a year, just under a year, but quite a baby. And she was heavily pregnant with her next one. She's a beautiful, stunning girl. And she'd been waiting for ages to see the doctor. And I was really sad for her because, you could tell that, bless her, she's probably about to pop. And long story short is we started chit-chatting, and she started telling me her story. And I said to her, so you have 2 kids and you seem like you're in love. So you're not married? And she said, oh, yes. He wants to get married, but he just says we should go off to like a registry or something and just do something small. But I want the bells and whistles. I want the wedding. I want the big dress. I want my family there. I want. And girlfriend went on. And I sat there ready to sort of like swallow really deep. I was like, girl, bingo, ding, your behind is gonna have 100 kids for this guy, and he ain't never gonna marry you. And this is why Disney World has a lot to answer for, girls. So much to answer for. Look, we really need to discard of the fairy tales. I'm so sorry, I'm a romantic like you are, I promise, but life hurts less when you can embrace the realist in you. Okay, Disney World is not reality. Okay, we all don't get to be Cinderella. Now, if you're hard, if you have to be the girl with a big dress, then you just have to learn to choose the kind of guy that's gonna be able to afford that. There's no point in dating Mr. We work together in the supermarket. You know how much he earns. You know how much you earn. And you want a big old wedding in a palace. You know how wealthy your family is and his family is. Are you for real? Like, it really got me thinking. And I sat there and I thought to myself, I am actually fed up of having these conversations with women, because I thank God for the internet, because I can actually have this conversation with more than one person. That way I can just sort of go across the board, right? Look, we need to pack in the fairy tale. We need to pack in this thought process that the wedding is the marriage. Marriage is a very different concept from a wedding. So let me put it this way. Your birthday marks another year in your life, a certain level of life you should be at, and certain things that you should have accomplished. It marks your point in life. It marks your age. And whether you have a party or not does not change the fact that you're 1 year older. Now, do you say, I am not going to get any older unless I have a party? No, you get older, then you have a party. The party is because you're getting older, and you don't always have to have a party. It's not every birthday that you have a party, okay? I, of course, know that birthdays happen, okay? So don't be putting in the comments, birthdays happen all the time, but a wedding is a once in a life. Look, I get that the one time you get married is the only time you should get married. It doesn't kind of work out that way, but it does for some, and it is their last. But let's say it is the one time. I was taken back to a time, I was talking to an older couple. I love talking to older couples. I got wisdom. And I remember one of them telling me, that her husband had to borrow a suit for their wedding, and she had to, borrow her dress. And they got married in a small little ceremony, and nothing she said sounded romantic to a modern girl like me, but they were together for 70 years. Hello? And they had property, and they have money, and they have stuff, because that generation of women and men had their eye on the ball. They had their eye on the prize. They knew the things that mattered. We live in a generation where we want 100 grand party. We want a huge wedding. We want our friends to talk about it days from whatever. And then the marriage doesn't last. Like, the wedding is bigger than the marriage. The wedding is huge. How many weddings are out of this world? I'm only ever going to do it once. And the couple doesn't last a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. They're gone. Because we have turned marriage into weddings. And here's the problem. And this is why this guy is not going to marry this girl until she comes down to reality. Is that, and I don't want to use the word reality to lessen people's dreams and goals, but I want to say sometimes we need to touch down with our reality. You want a guy who is going to, I beg your pardon, who is going to give you a fairy tale wedding, then you're going to have to get a rich guy. You're going to have to get a guy who can afford that kind of lifestyle. And in order to get that kind of guy, you're going to have to be a certain kind of girl. In order for you to be the certain kind of girl, you're going to have to do the work. And it might take time. So you don't want to do any of that. No, you want to be lazy. You don't want to self-develop. You don't want to create your own wealth. You don't want to create your own wealth. Some guy to just whisk you away and give you a fairy tale wedding, he's not going to marry you because the guy can't afford it. And you have so put the marriage and the wedding in one little package. Your vision of your wedding is scaring this poor bloke. He just does not want to disappoint you, because he knows, even if you're like, we'll just go to a registry then, okay. He knows that that's disappointing to you. He knows that him dragging to a registry, just you, him, and a mate, and your mate, is going to be you feeling let down by him. He's going to feel like a loser that he can't provide that for you. And right now he's busy trying to work to provide for the 2 kids you just given birth to, or he's just busy trying to work so that he can put a roof over your heads, or keep the bills paid. You know, you're pregnant and now you've gone back to being pregnant, so you can't be back in the workforce. How are you going to help him financially? So he's going to have to do all that, and he's ready to do right by you. He's ready to be honorable, but you were standing in your own way. You were standing in the way of your happiness because you have so elevated your desires and your Disney World channel and your fairy tale that you have to have. And really, what is that about? What is really about? It's not about the marriage. You're not interested in marrying this guy. You're just interested in making him feel like a loser for not marrying you. You're just interested in making him feel like he's no good. Because actually, the reality is you are more in love with the idea of a wedding than you are in love with him. Because if you're in love with him, baby girl, if it's him that you truly love, a registry will do, okay? Honest to God, you can just go off to registry, put your ring on, and start your marriage and save all that money you would have used on feeding, watering, and feeding people who you don't know, care about most of the time. 3/4 of the people at a wedding, the couple don't even know or care about deeply. They're just doing it for their families or for the show. You've saved all of that money to invest into your futures, into the future of your children. I think that's more valuable. So ask yourself, what is it that I am putting out there? You know I joke a lot about my ring. I do want a nice ring. I just do. It's just my thing. But I wouldn't kick a guy in the teeth and tell him to bugger off if he couldn't get me a ring that I wanted. I would, and I recognize that, I might have to forfeit certain things in order to get the ring that I want. And I'm quite happy for that to be the case. I'm not thinking that a man should blow the bank, but it's something that I want. And perhaps that too can be a hindrance because maybe he can't afford to get me that ring. And maybe I just have to take what I'm given. But I like to think and believe that I'm the sort of girl who is down to earth and realistic, that if I truly fell in love with somebody because of their qualities, I would just be happy that they want to give me their very best, and I would know that they want to give me their very best, and I'd be sure to reassure them. And there is nothing to say that after 5 years of being married to that guy, he won't have enough wealth or whatever to get me the ring that I want as an eternity ring or just as a gift. We don't always have to get those things right away. We have to really look at what are the priorities. Is it that man you want? Is it really marriage you want, or you just want the wedding? So that's a really big thing for guys, and why some guys just won't make the leap, because they just know that the day that they propose, you're gonna go off on a wild one. You're gonna go off on a wild one. You tell your friends, they're gonna want to see the ring, they're gonna want the wedding, they're gonna want you're gonna want to choose a dress, you're gonna want the whole thing, and he's just thinking, oh my God, I can't afford it. Okay, so that's something where an honorable guy who wants to do right by you can really be stalled because of you, baby girl. Your little fairy tale going on in your head is too much for this guy to handle. The other thing is really, if he hasn't proposed or given you the commitment level that you want, it's because there's a bit of doubt in his heart. And this is the hardest thing to have to deal with, the fact that I might not be the one for him. I might not be the girl that he wants or the girl that he desires. I might be in the meantime for him. In which case you really need to have a conversation with him and really share how you feel and get him to sign your contract. Because if you are the in the meantime girl, he won't sign your contract and he will keep on moving. And I know it's easier said than done, because now you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna be single again. But that goes back to one of my previous videos about embracing an abundance mindset. You see, nothing that I'm sharing with you on this video is going to be of any use to you or effective in your life if you are still carrying a scarcity mindset. If in your mind there's just not enough, then unfortunately nothing I'm going to say to you is going to work, because you're going to hold on to a dead situation no matter what I say. So this is me just saying, if he hasn't and you're struggling and you feel like you're pulling his reluctance to commit to you and to give you the commitment that you want, chances are he's just not that into you. And that really hurts, and that's really difficult. But we are all human beings, and we we settle, because one of the things that we need to understand about men, again, a belief system, is that men have never been hurt. It's just women. We just get hurt. You know, it's just women's feelings that are broken, and it's these horrible rogues that are men that are just coming to hurt our feelings. But I can guarantee you that no matter how gorgeous, good looking, wealthy a guy is, somebody hurt his feelings, somebody let him down, someone disappointed him, someone rejected him. And he's got those scars in him as well. And he's probably given up on his dream girl. And he's making do with you because you're a decent girl. And he's still somewhere deep inside, just like most of us women do, still holding on to the hope that there is some amazing, decent woman out there for me. But the bottom line is, he's still waiting for her. But because he's been hurt, because he's been disappointed, he's sticking around a good girl because she's a good girl. And I've had so many conversations with guys who are just not in love with the women that are in their lives. They're just not in love. But she's a good girl, and she gives it to me when I want it, and she doesn't make my life long-winded, and she makes me comfortable. And I have nothing to complain about, but I'm not feeling any kind of compulsion to marry her. She's become a habit, she's become comfortable, but it's just the way that it is. Now, sad for him, because he thinks some other amazing woman is going to pop into his life. And, you know, the truth of the matter is, there's always something better out there. But at some point, we all have to commit to somebody because we love them, not because there isn't a better option, there isn't somebody better looking or wealthier or nicer or kinder or more sensitive. So that's from me to you. I'm sure there are other reasons why your man might be fearing commitment. But certainly for you, I would like you to walk away having an adjusted mindset that men do want commitment too. It's just that sometimes the way we approach it, we don't make sure that guy is commitment ready, that he's at the stage in his life. And that's another point as well, that men commit when they're ready, when their finances look good to them. No matter how much a man adores you, wants you, and wants to do right by you, if he feels like his life is not ready, he won't make the move, because they're just not wired like us. If he feels like he cannot provide and protect you in any kind of way, he's not going to make the move. He's not going to do it. And you will have to sit there until he is ready, until his life becomes ready. And the only thing you can do, if that is the case for you, is to assist him, help him create that wealth, help him create that security, be the wind beneath his wings, so that he can create that wealth and that safety, so that he can feel comfortable to propose. And that's a really big thing for men, huge. If he cannot provide something, if he cannot be a man in that relationship and be the one that pays the bills and commands things, you know, some men are just paralyzed by that. And as annoying as it is when you're the woman who's waiting, it's so important that you allow him to honor that instinct, because it will just turn around and bite you in the backside if you don't. Because if he feels that you have disrespected him in any kind of way, and he attributes that to his lack of stuff or his lack of being able to give you this, it creates such tension in the relationship that eventually becomes not worth it. So these are some of the reasons. I'm sure there are more. I'm sure there are plenty more, and I'd love to hear from the guys on this channel, because I know you guys are watching. I really want to hear about some of the reasons why you don't commit, why you are with this woman and you've been with this woman for a long time and you don't commit, and you're not committed to her. And sob stories won't wash with the Cheng. Okay, so don't tell me, I was married and she heard. No, give me a real solid reason why you might be in a situation where you're finding it difficult to commit to the woman that you're with, knowing that she is amazing and all sorts. So yeah, I want to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll look forward to seeing you again. Take care of yourself. Love you lots. Mwah. Take care.